Welcome back, everyone, to the final portion here of week 14 of RollPlay Swan Song. Adam, take it away.
Okay, so Mr. Sicarian, you step out onto the.
By the way, everyone put on your 3D glasses because this is where the gravity scene starts. So it's going to be some intense shit.
Flying objects.
So yeah, if you want reference for what staring out into drive space looks like, just think of like the weird kaleidoscope, like 60s warp bit from Space Odyssey, like weird shifting colors and. The whole scene takes place pretty much from the inside of Mr. Sicarian's helmet, so we can just like hear him breathing, and there's like fog on the plate, and you can see this like long black expanse of metal, and somewhere off in the distance, like a kind of machine shed with like big metal pipes sticking out of it. So you step out onto the deck of the ship, and yeah, the gravity reorients itself around the ship, so you step kind of out onto the wall, and now there's the big flat black metal plane, and all these like weird colors streaming past you. Can you make a mental effect save for me,
Sure.
please?
I don't know. Let me see.
D20.
It's like
15.
15. Yeah.
I just. Nope.
Okay. All right. So you're staggered sort of the first moment that you get out there. You know, your head is swimming, and you have to like fight not to throw up inside the suit. And it's very much like Miss Mesa comes on over the headset and it's like, just keep your head down, don't look up. One foot in front of the other. You can see it just ahead of you, and she gives you directions to where you need to go to like open the access panel.
I do exactly as she says.
Okay. All right. So on the bridge of both ships, actually, like everyone is like crowded around the like comm suite, listening to the conversation between the two of you. Yeah, for everybody else, like if you want to jump in and say anything to Mr. Sicarian or Mesa, just go ahead. But we'll just like we'll play through the two of them for right now. So it is really slow, like getting across the ship, because you like the gravity is weird, and you have to like pull the tether behind you, and it's slow going. So it takes you. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, so it takes an hour to get to where you need to go. And when you get there, yeah, there's just like a section where those big metal, like they're the size of like subway tunnels, these big metal like pipes that come up out of the ship and then attached to a central kind of like squarish kind of shack, basically a small building. And on the outside of it, there's a like an emergency access panel, and it's got like the yellow and black kind of like border around it. And it starts to ring. So she tells you that in the next to the panel, there's a tool, like a built-in toolkit. So you need to open that panel and get out the like multi-tool that's in there.
Yeah, you just hear my deep breathing and like a couple times, and I just go out and do what I can to grab it.
Okay. So you pull it open, and it hangs open in space, and you have to like drag it open. The physics is weird out here. And it keeps trying to like close on you while so you hold it open with one hand, and you can take out this tool. It's a bit like a gun shape, and then at the end there's a bunch of different like bits that you can put on. She instructs you which of the like bits to attach to the end of the tool to pull the bolts out of the panel. So can you make a? And it's all really hard to do because the suit's all bulky. So
Yeah.
like trying to. So you like wrap the cord around your wrist so you don't drop it. And can you make a dexterity check?
10.
Okay, cool. So it doesn't take you too long, just about 20 minutes to get the panel off. And throughout the whole thing, Miss Mesa is being very like businesslike about it. She's not like everybody who's on the Swan Song with her, you can see she's just stressed the fuck out. But she's good at keeping it down. And Pi is occasionally asking questions, but by text, like to Piani, because everyone on the ship is just being really quiet and like listening to this. So Pi is like, oh, I better not interrupt, and like sending you messages like, what's going on? What's Scarian doing? And so once you get it open, there's a fairly complicated like panel with a bunch of like circuit boards, basically like clear plastic boards with handles on the end of them. There's about 20 of them all laid out. There's a big switch and several like smaller metal switches for you to flip. Now she's like, okay, I'm gonna walk you through how to disable the link, but it's complicated, so I'm gonna go slow. Can you make an intelligence check, Sicarian, as she explains it to you to try to remember and like do it in the right order? Okay, cool. Can you roll? I'll roll this one. Okay, cool. I need you to make one more mental save for me. Well, one more for now.
Fail.
You've been out for an hour. Okay. All right. So that's how many of you failed? 2?
2.
Okay. You hear a voice behind you while you're like taking out
In
one of the
outer
panels.
space.
Yeah.
Good.
You hear like a family member, someone who you haven't seen or heard from, or maybe they're dead in a long time. Who is it?
This would be my wife.
Okay. All right. Is she alive?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear your wife. She like calls you by your name.
And I hear it like audibly from behind me.
as though you were standing outside in like an open field.
Did they brief me on this kind of possibility or anything like that?
No, they didn't.
Then I'm drilling and my eyes widen.
Yeah.
I kind of like turn. I'm like,
Okay.
what? The
Yeah.
fuck?
You see your wife just standing on the deck of the ship.
Then I say into the comms.
What was she
"Why-
wearing?
why-"
What was she wearing the last time you saw her?
Like standard clothing for that planet. What is it called?
Oninsa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So she's just wearing like a dress. And she's standing maybe like I don't know, 10 meters back behind you.
Looks normal.
Yeah, totally. She looks like she's illuminated by like sunlight. But she's against the backdrop, the like rippling warp backdrop of space. Yeah, and so everybody on the ship, on the like shoulder mounted cam for the Evo suit, you see Sicarian turn around and is just looking out into space.
No, I say
Is-
over comm. I say, there's a woman that I know very well standing behind me.
Is Oubliette saying anything?
She doesn't say
As soon as he says that, I like press the button and scream at the comments. I'm like, "Don't trust that bitch!"
anything. Don't. Okay.
Yeah, I thumb on the comms. I say, Monsieur Sicarian, there's nothing on the camera.
Okay, and then from the camera lens, because you can just see his camera lens, you can see from the bottom of the camera lens, the middle finger comes up, and he flicks off the ghost and says, "That's fucking cruel," and then he turns back and starts drilling again.
Okay. All right. So you continue. Miss Mesa doesn't mention it. She's not like, this is what you should do. She's just like, okay, where were we? So there's a panel. It's 3 over and 1 down. And so she just keeps walking you through the process. Once you've done that, you've deactivated the link. She says that you have to go on the other side. There's a manual, like a fuel release. So you have to walk all the way around the thing to the fuel release. And once you're there, she walks you through removing like another panel. The whole process takes you another hour. Okay, so for anyone who's looking to get caught up, T-minus 5 hours, 30 minutes. And yeah, y'all are on the ship, like Miss Mesa is like just barely holding on. Everyone on the bridge is like, paying very strict attention. Ossuary and Oubliette kind of have lost interest. They're like, okay, this is going to happen, and they trust Miss Mesa, so they're checking on the operation and its like progress. And they're not paying any attention to this unless someone like grabs them. Okay, can you, Mr. Sicarian, can you make a dexterity check to unhook the fuel pump? Nice, killing it tonight.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so when
The
you
whole,
do,
like, going insane thing, but we're
I
okay
have failed
with
2 of
everything
those.
else. Yeah.
okay, so you start to like lift the like release the big like valve that opens the release, and we'll start dumping hydrogen into space. And when you grab it and you start pulling on it, you hear the voice again, and she says, "What are you doing?" And you look, and she's standing like right next to you, and like has her hand like on top of your hand, and her hand is like bare, and you can feel it on your
feel it.
skin. Yeah.
Oh my god. even the battle-hardened Sicarian starts to kind of tremble at that, and he's just... You can see him kind of keep looking, and he's looking at his hand, and he looks at this, but he's aware of what's happening, but he's losing faith and confidence that he knows what's happening.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything. He's just like there's like a few words that start to get said. They get kind of muttered, but he doesn't say anything fully. He's just like, fucking.
So Miss Mesa, you hear her voice, and by exchange, like by differentiation, like your wife's voice sounds like perfect and clear, and like you've like exactly as you remember it. And Miss Mesa sounds like she's like underwater a million miles away and like tinny and weird. And she's like Sicarian, what did you say? Say again.
I'm having like he's already physically being stressed as much as possible, so his mind's like being torn in two different directions because he knows on some level that this was not supposed to be real or happening, but it's so much more convincing than everything else that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just starting to he's just breaking apart.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just shaking and more muttering, kind of looking up and down. And no words come out of him. He's just fucking. Okay. You can hear fucking a whole bunch. It's just like fucking.
So you're holding on to the valve release. Do you like let it go?
No. He knows he needs to do that. He's not sure why he's doing anything else though. But he's doing that. She
like puts her hand up and again like touches the glass of your face mask, but you can feel like her fingers on your face. And she says, "You don't have to do this. It's dangerous out here. Why don't you come inside?"
When she puts her hand to his face, that delays him for a second. Like he actually like, I'm guessing he's grav locked to the ship, right?
Yeah. Your boots are like locked onto the ship.
He kind of stammers back, and one leg goes down to a knee.
Okay. So everybody sees this on the camera, like the viewpoint drops.
Yeah. As
Mr. Sicarian, what do you see?
Go ahead.
If you say it in a calm voice, he doesn't say anything. He's staring to his left, like boop into this.
Yeah. Someone is
show.
saying something to you, Mr. Sicarian, but they're calling you by a name that you don't recognize, and they're somewhere over here, someplace. It's like, yeah, not so important.
As he says that and doesn't get a response, I'm like, Miss Mesa, is this normal?
She looks up at you. What do you mean normal?
His brain or his mind seems to be elsewhere. I hope he's able to complete this. You didn't prep him about the whatever the fuck is going on?
The effects of drive space on a human person this direct. We don't have a lot of data, so I don't know what's happening with him right now.
Great. Okay.
He stands up, like his camera raises, and he says, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here."
I turn to Oubliette and I say, "Is there anything we can do?"
Oubliette looks at you and she's like, "Just stay out of everyone's way." So meanwhile, outside, I know you are. So, Mr. Sicarian, so your wife says, she's like, "What do you mean, what am I doing here?"
They took you away from me. You're not supposed to be here. They took you.
We thought you might be confused. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. You don't have to worry about Titan or the ship or any of this. Just come with me.
He like kind of starts to kind of step in her direction, but then you can see his camera kind of look back down at the nozzle, and he looks at like the ship around him, and it's moving kind of panicky and stuttery, and he's breathing harder, and it's getting foggier.
Okay, so Miss Mesa says to you, and you can hear like she's the only voice of the people on the ship you can really like still make out because you've been concentrating on it for hours. Yeah. So she says, "Mr. Sicarian, you have to focus. Whatever it is you're seeing, it's not really there. Remember the valve, Sicarian. All you have to do is open it. There's 2 more to go after this. Please, we don't have a lot of time."
And with that, it kind of centers him, like he keeps looking back and forth, and his vision lingers here on the valve, and he doesn't say anything, but it's a ragged exhale, like he's going through some kind of duress, and he starts to work on it again.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's see how long it takes you to get the fuel lines disconnected. Cool, you're working quick.
Yes.
All right.
It's good. Work fast.
All right, so Miss Mesa says, all right, you're doing good. That's the first junction done. We just need to do one more, and this one's a little trickier. If you turn to your left, and you, I assume turn to look.
Yeah.
Okay, you see that strut, and off in the distance, you can see that there's like a essentially it looks to you like a tower, but it would look like if you're looking at the ship head on, there's like a wing, like a fin, basically. She's like, at the end of the strut, there's a tank. It's a secondary fuel tank. If you disconnect it, there's no way we're going to be able to maintain this speed. But once it's disconnected, you're not going to have a lot of time to get back onto the ship. Probably an hour at most, depending on how fast the Warmind realizes what's going on and shunts us out of drive space. Okay.
We just kind of breeze harder.
All right. I'm going to walk you through this. We can do it. And she like swallows hard and she looks over at Higgs and like jiggles her empty glass and is like,
I mute the thing. I mute the comms going out to Mr. Sakarian, and I say, I just look at you and or look at the woman. I'm just like, lady, I'm not having a man's life with you being drunk. So you're gonna do this sober, and then we're gonna celebrate. And I grab the glass from her.
okay. I think she like covers her. She nods. She's like, okay, and gets back on the comms. Okay, so it's going to take you some time to walk out there. I say probably another hour of walking, which brings you to T minus 3 hours. You've been outside, looks like 4 hours now. You can see like slowly...
Which is the minimum time, by the way, Mr. Adam.
What's that?
It's the minimum time.
Oh yeah, that's true. Look at all those ones. You can see the oxygen and like all the systems levels like slowly like draining. Like you still got lots of time, but you're aware of the HUD and what it says going on. But as you're approaching the tank, and you can see it, it's got like like emergency fuel tank and all that stuff on it. But as you approach it, the HUD starts to like blur in your vision, and as you get closer, it replaces itself with the like combat HUD, but not of your current suit, but of the old. And you've seen a few of them on this ship. The old Pfotenhauer like landing gear like battle suit you used to wear. And it's got like Mr. Sakarian readout and all like your crew, the different like members of your squad and like their vital statistics and stuff. And so that comes up. And the tower that you saw in the distance is slowly becoming sort of superimposed with some like fortified location that you had to like assault with your team. And you can hear, instead of just your own breathing now, you can hear like a gunfire. And it's sort of like coming up on you like standing in a tub that's slowly filling with cold water. And you're slowly being submerged in this memory of combat. So there was a battle on Oninsa that was like a turning point, and it went really badly for you. What happened in that battle? Like, how did you lose your squad and you stayed alive?
I think as a mister in the Pfotenhauer Society, like they're very accustomed to high degrees of success. Like they're all by the book, perfect military personnel. So any kind of loss is taken. They have to have like the mind of a quarterback, the short-term memory, but at the same time, it cuts really deep to the core. And almost never do they lose an entire squad. And I think there was. In Onitsa, there's so many skeletons in his closet about that planet, and that so many things that went wrong. And this assault, the tower was armed with a weapon that they knew about but did not know the tower was armed on. So it was like a complete fucking. And it's his job to go over the intel and schematics and make sure that the strategy is coordinated. And this was one of his only fuck ups he's ever done, where literally the whole squad was completely wiped out.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can see your squad like massing behind you, and maybe one of the like your like.
And he knows this moment too. He's like sees it coming. He's
yeah,
like,
it's like a bad dream. It's like it's coming at you like a wave that can't be stopped, and you feel yourself walking forward, and like you can feel the weight of your gun in your hands, even though there's nothing there. And you get a like a look, like you get a moment of like eye contact with one of your sergeants as they pass, and they give you this like grim, like, okay, we got to do this, but I trust you. Let's go. And they like lead the charge, and you run towards battle, and it's like you've seen this before. You've seen it in your dreams. Like the weapon system on top of the tower activates, and just starts like cutting down your crew. Can you make another mental effect save for me?
Yeah. Barely fail.
Okay. All right. So you manage to like sort of stagger your way through it, and the memory like is intercut with the blurring colors of space and this like strange whispering in your head that eventually, as you drag yourself through the memory, you remember is the voice of Miss Mesa, who like helps like drag you back into reality, and you find yourself outside the secondary tank on this like fuel sponson.
Yeah, like her voice is like cutting through the imagery of that. Otherwise, he's completely lost him. But every time she speaks, it like slices through the imagery and he just kind of pulls towards it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So you get to the tower, and you're right there. You've got the like panel open. So she says, "I'm gonna walk you through the way to safely do this. If we do this part wrong, it's gonna. You don't need to know any of that." Okay, and so she starts to give you directions for the like final stage. Can you make an intelligence check for me to see how long this is going to take you? Okay. All right. Holy shit. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So basically, like as you're finishing, like you are like pulling the last like line. On the Swan Song, you guys can see like Mesa is like barely holding on, like she's drifting in and out of consciousness, and like it keeps like slapping herself in the face to like keep awake, and has to like restart certain directions. She's just like, her uniform is just soaked with sweat. On the bridge, Oubliette and Ossuary have stopped completely, like they're just like watching this because it's coming down to the line, and basically what happens is like finally you get to the end of the tank's run, and you like stop it and cut the fuel line to the core, and on the ship everything goes black for a second, like all the lights go off, and then emergency lights switch on, and Sicarian, you're standing on the outside of the ship when it comes out of drive space. You basically might as well be like, it's like the colors all just peel away from you, and it's like emerging from like very deep water, and you're standing on the outside of the ship next to next to space. There's just like a black expanse around you, and you can just barely see stars, and one of the nav crew on the deck brings up a system map, and mentioned like, and points out like the ship is stopped like a half hour away from Andoni. So you did it basically, like you've stopped it, and you've bought the crew some time to do something else, whether it's to get to the Swan Song and get out of here, or whatever. You're in real space again. As for you, you're gonna need to get back onto the ship. So can you make just one more save for me? I need you to make a physical effect save.
That is 12.
Okay.
Pass.
Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So you make it back to the ship. So while Sicarian is on his way back to the ship, what's everybody else doing? Now that you know you're like in real space, do people like go into action, or what happens?
Well, our hangar, the hangar that we're in, is still closed, right?
Yeah, I mean the doors are closed.
Well, we can't open them until we're absolutely sure that we're ready to leave. The question is whether or not we're going to try to do anything else.
Yeah, I guess when we realized that we're like back in real space, I immediately open up the private comms back to Mr. Ossuary, and I'm just like,
okay,
sir, we've done it. What's the plan now?
He says, yes, it seems you have. Well, now that the Warmind is trying to get the fuel supply up and running, I'm going to finish my operation. As for what you do, I don't care.
I turn to Madame Oubliette.
Yeah.
And I say, we have a break ready to put in place.
She looks at you and she says,
once the operation is complete.
yeah, she's about to say something, and then you say that, and she nods. Fine. Once it's done, I don't care.
And you don't care what happens to the Warmind after that?
She shrugs. Our job was to take it on board and wring it out. All of this, bad side effect.
And if someone were to take it off your hands?
She kind of squints at you. She's like, for what? Your overlords?
For study.
I have more important things to think about than this, Trudeau. Do what you will, but once I'm done, I'm coming looking for you. So
Likewise.
on the Higgs and Miss Mesa and actually Piani, you're like at the comms, so
Right.
And Wu is here as well.
yeah, Wu's here too. So I guess when the ship goes into like real space and like Wu looks around and Miss Mesa like nods at him like it's okay, we did it. He's like okay, let's get the fuck out of here, and looks at you, Higgs, like let's get everybody back on board.
I'm just
Let's
like,
go.
Wu, get the ship ready. We're not leaving just yet. I'll let you
Okay.
know.
Yeah, he runs off for the engine room.
I-
Piani, a bunch of messages come on, like, because you're in real space now.
Right.
and messages are getting sent and pinged and stuff, and so you get a few messages on the ship. One is from a ship called the Six of Swords, and it says, for Prosper Trudeau, eyes only. There are also several bills from Sunbeam.
I forward all the bills to Higgs,
Okay.
and I route the message to Prosper without looking at it.
Look at you. Okay, Prosper.
Uh,
You get a message on your comm pad.
yeah, I thumb it on.
Okay. So
In a private location.
sure, yeah. So like I said, it's just a short burst message. It's encrypted, though you have the key. It's an enunciation message. It's from the patrol ship Six of Swords,
Mhm.
and it says, I guess I don't even know how they would phrase it, but they would be like, unusual communication signatures detected in your system. Investigate, detain, do not harm.
I shoot back immediately. Request immediate backup extraction necessary.
Okay. So you get a request for a live like a live call. Like this ship is in system.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I connect.
Okay. All right. So it comes through.
Yeah.
And it's just audio only.
Yep.
I
I said Six of Swords.
Yeah. This is Six of Swords. What is this about evacuation? Where are you, Trudeau?
I guess I somehow broadcast my coordinates or whatever, if that's at all possible with the comm that I have. And I say we are at a location approximately a half hour from Andoni. We have been boarded. We have boarded the ship. What is it? Harridan's Heart. Yeah, we've boarded this ship, Harridan's Heart, in pursuit of rather in delivery of an artifact which was unknown to us at the time.
Yeah, I don't need your life story, Trudeau. What do you need?
I need you to come here and get the core.
So it's confirmed
Absolutely.
and it's active, unbraked.
Currently unbraked. We have a brake ready to put in place. This is a very dangerous creature.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, Trudeau. Protocol. I can't let you break it, and you're definitely not getting evac. We gotta let this thing run its course.
Run its course.
Yeah.
It will destroy a planet. Do you have authorization?
This order comes straight from the general.
Send it to me.
Okay, so you get basically a confirmation.
This is General So of the Orange Chicken Fleet.
Yeah, I mean it's got General Rainier's encryption code on it, and it basically just says let the AI run. Don't get in its way, don't block it.
Yeah, okay.
These things have a way of sorting themselves out.
Yeah, Prosper just messages back. He says, I thought we would want to contain it and try to shepherd it on its way, but I understand. Thank you, Six of Swords.
Six of Swords is well, I think we learned after the chariot that's not how it works. Take care of yourself, Trudeau. Good luck.
Very well. And then, I sign off.
Six of Swords out.
I message to Piani.
Okay.
And I say, Miss Peak, we are ready to depart.
I just say I and immediately jump to action because that sounds like the greatest idea.
You're like, finally. Okay.
Well, probably not so immediately.
Yeah, just gone. The
Yeah,
whole
we
ship.
gotta pick up.
Maybe not.
We gotta pick
Right
up our 2
this
crew
second.
members.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of preparations that have to be made, Geoff. I'm trying
Chewbacca
to...
does it in 5 seconds, sweet. I don't know how long it takes, Piani.
Punch it.
So as Prosper like turns off his comm, he takes a private moment to himself, and he's just like whispering a little prayer under this breath. And if there were anybody nearby, they would hear that it ends au nom du Père, l'Enfant et le Fantôme.
But everybody hates the French, so nobody's near you because you smell bad.
Oh,
Prosper bathes in rosewater every day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind. My bad.
Okay. So, cool. All right. You can all get back to I guess Securian, you come back through the airlock.
Yeah, I come in through the door.
Yeah, and get like desuited. Like the team is ready to like. And immediately, yeah, as soon as you get in, Ossuary or Oubliette is there to give you like an emergency shot, and she looks at you and is like, "Oh, you did it. You stopped it long enough. We should be able to finish the operation. At least it's just a matter of time before it gets control of the ship. But well, we're gonna leave the ship. I assume you are too.
Do you need a ride?
As they're desuiting him in the most you've never seen, it's never been shown like this in a movie or show. He very politely, he's like shaking and like very pallid, sweaty.
Yeah.
He says, 1 second. He turns, makes like a cone with his hand. Just vomits out of his hand. Takes a second, kind of like flicks his hand out.
Yeah.
Wipes it on the suit and says, "Yes, I assumed as much. I think that is exactly what was going to happen."
So you're going with the Swan Song. You can stay with us.
1 second. He turns. Just vomits again out of his
Okay.
This time it's like the, it's bile mostly. So he
Yeah.
sits there for a second, takes a hand through his hair and kind of combs it back, and then looks back at her and says, "They are my people, yes. But I would like to have a conversation with you at some point, as was promised, I believe."
She kind of nods. She's like, "I'd like that. I don't know what happens now, but here." And she gives you a chip with her like comms information on it.
He takes it with his clean hand.
Yeah, she's like, "Call me when you get somewhere safe. We'll work something out. And like I promised, if Titan comes looking for you, well, I'll try to convince the captain to lead him the wrong direction, and then we can see what we can do about it on a more permanent basis."
He gives a very slow nod and says, "You have my..." 1 second. He turns away.
Well,
And you can see him heave a little bit. Then he doesn't. He looks back at her and says, "I appreciate that very much. Thank you."
All right. So Ossuary walks over to his like captain's chair, and he punches in some information onto the like arm panel, and an alarm starts going off on the ship, and it's the self-destruct alarm. And he as he walks back, he says to the kind of collected group, he's like, "Well, that should at least buy us some time. We'll see if it wants to self-destruct or not. So, to the shuttles." And his crew like gets ready to go, and he looks at Prosper and Mr. Sakarian, and he was like,
I'm putting back on my battle suit, by the way, and grabbing my rifle.
he says to Prosper, he's like, it was a pleasure meeting you." He puts his hand out.
Likewise, Monsieur Ossuary. Perhaps at some future point. And I clasp, shake.
Okay. And he turns to Mr. Sakarian, he gives you the salute again, and he says, "Whether I see you again or not, it was good working with you."
As I'm shrugging on my assault armor, I say, "Mr. Ossuary, as a gambling man, who would you bet on?"
He looks at you and he says, "Well, I've seen Titan fight before, and he has more resources than you do, but, well, I think my mind has been changed today. I'll see what I can do to help you even up those odds."
I look at him and I return the Pfotenhauer salute and say, I hope I can count on those words, and I feel like I know I can.
He nods. And they head off. They leave. You all leave the bridge. They head off towards the emergency shuttles, and you guys head back to the Swan Song.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to do on the ship before you leave?
I guess as that's all happening, I go to Piani's room, quarters, bridge area, wherever she's at, flicking on all the things. And I am doing it very quietly and very calmly. And I just say, did we save those people or are they dead? The Andonians.
Who are you asking?
Piani.
Actually, I don't even. At this point, like, the ship can't move, but they said let it run its course. Like,
They said to self-destruct.
but will the ship, like, it won't necessarily ram the planet? I don't know.
I think the
I'm not a
assumption is
fucking
that
physicist.
the ship's going to blow up. It's been scuttled.
Well, so Ossuary turned on the self-destruct to buy more time for you guys to escape, so that the Warmind would be distracted trying to turn the self-destruct back off. If it can do that in the next 15 minutes or whatever, however long the self-destruct runs, then it'll just head on to Andoni and start dropping bombs.
So
But
I guess
you've all
when,
been
I guess when
you've
you
all been
say I
bought
don't
time
know,
to leave.
yeah, because we don't really know any of that. I tell Piani, and can you send a private anonymous message to the Andonians to say get the fuck out of your planet?
Yes.
Do
Y'all
it.
got about a half hour or so.
Just like do it right
I
now.
could send it. I can send a distress signal. Yeah.
Would we be able to rig it? I mean, I know it's like a super generic question, but I guess if we knew we were leaving a ship and we had the intention of blowing it up, and we have access to all its armament in the bay where the fighters are and stuff like that. Could we ask Pi to set off?
You
some
could cause
detonation?
damage to the hangar bay and stuff, but this isn't where the like planet killer whatever
Yeah.
bombs are. This is like the fighters and where all their armament is.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
tell
mean-
Piani send a distress signal.
Is there any weapons in there that we could, all of us could grab to retrofit to the ship later, type of thing? Is there extra armament in there?
Not in 30 minutes, probably, right?
No. I mean, okay, so like technically there's enough room inside the Swan Song to fit one of those fighters if you want to try and steal one on your way out.
Yeah, I think we better do that.
I mean, it depends on how long you want to take doing it.
Mr. Higgins, could we
Not a
sell one of
fighter, I don't
those?
I turned. Well, I guess I like look up into the sky and I'm just like, Prosper, I can sell anything. I'm like, Woo, get us one of those things right now. Get it inside the fucking ship. Drop whatever you're doing. I'll handle it.
Okay, so you want to try and steal a fighter on your way out.
It's a
Okay.
fucking bad idea.
Higgs, can you just make a luck check? Let's just roll all this into the let's see how lucky you are if you have enough time.
13 and I need a 14. Fuck.
No.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, at the last minute, Wu is like, can't get it started, and then like he's just like, this is a terrible idea. We gotta get out of here.
As he like tells me that, I was gonna say like as he tells me all that, I'm like waiting with the stun baton for him to board it.
Motherfucker.
But I don't do that.
But as they're doing that, I kind of stomp onto the ship,
Yeah.
and I close my door behind me, my like quarters, and I think the only thing that Pi could see it through the camera that we communicated before earlier, but I pull something out of my drawer and I just kind of look at it, and for the first time ever, Mr. Sarkarian just sits in his bed and cries.
Yeah. Heavy. Okay. Cool.
Wow.
So you all get on the ship.
Tense.
Prosper, you're the pilot. What's the plan here?
Yeah, I would like to pull away from Harridan's heart, but I want to watch.
Okay. All right. So you get to a safe distance from it, and it's not. So you're at the comms, like everybody's on the bridge except for Sicarian, I guess.
Yep.
Miss Mesa got off of the ship, so she's not with you. And yeah, you get a fair distance. So you can see on the scanners the various like angles of the Harridan's heart.
I communicate via the private channel what has happened and the current situation with the Harridan's heart to the Six of Swords, so that they know there's a chance that Warmind may not be able to fix the fuel lines. Warmind may not be able to shut down the destruct system. So, I'm just like, hey, Warmind might be crippled in his capacity to take action at the moment, but there's still a fully functioning AI core here. So,
Okay, cool. So
but if it starts bombing the planet, I have a song that
well,
I will play.
you're too far away from the planet for it to just like go there and bomb it right now. But yeah, you watch for it, waiting to see if it's going to explode or what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And after a few minutes of very tense waiting, you see like the shuttles leave it, and then the ship disappears, like it drops into drive space.
Okay.
Where do you guys go, or do you just like, do you go into drive space to get out of the system, or what do you want to do?
There's no way to follow it to Andoni.
You could if you wanted to.
Well, that's where Prosper is going.
Okay. Sure.
Or that Prosper goes to Andoni.
Okay, so you guys want to head to Andoni. Did you tell everybody else that's what you're doing?
I don't think I asked.
Okay, you're just like, bloop, we're on our way.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so it'll take you 3 times longer to get there.
Yeah.
Than it takes it. So
it'll take us 90 minutes and it 30 minutes or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah, to do the
You took us right to an asteroid field, Prosper. What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to lose this
Andoni
character.
here.
Okay, so I think that when you emerge from drive space, again, 2 things happen.
Mm-hmm.
One, you see Andoni, and it's just like on fire, essentially. Like its atmosphere is burning. Mr. Sakarian, have you ever seen a planet hit with Typhoon Epsilon before? Yeah, it's the atmosphere is on fire, and it's like covered in craters. It looks like a volcano world. There's some places that aren't like totally fucked up, but the spots that it was targeting are just like ruined. And as soon as you arrive, there a message appears on the like console that's been waiting for you in real space.
Okay.
And it's obviously it's from the Harridan's Heart.
It's from the Harridan's Heart?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I ask Pi to turn on Soave Cielo Vento from Così fan tutte.
Okay.
And I open the message.
You're gonna let everybody play along.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I have to.
So some music starts playing in the cockpit of the ship, and then overlaid on that is the audio message from the Warmind, and it comes on over the speakers on the whole ship, and it just says "Witness, worms, this is only the beginning."
And there's just this look of rapture on Prosper's face.
You're crazy, Prosper. And that's as good a place as any.
What is
for
a look
us,
of
I
rapture?
think. Stop.
You can make it for the gift makers out there, Stephen.
Yeah. Religious joy. I have one more roll that I need Mr. Sakarian to do for me, please. Can you? And this is gonna be a weird one. Can you roll me 1d300 plus 400, please?
What?
1d 300
Yeah,
plus 400.
Yeah, I just need a number in that range. 608. Okay. Let me just take a look and see if this is a thing that happens immediately. Holy shit! Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you after the show, Geoff. I think also some of you have some goals that you resolved.
Yeah.
Well, did we accomplish any missions as a team?
No, because you got your mission XP for dropping off the thing already. You will get paid though, so we'll do that at the beginning of the next mission. Because you guys have to have a conversation with Van Dorn about all that to get your money. But Piani, you safely got Pi off the Harridan's Heart. So for that, you get 325 experience.
All right.
And for last session and this session, Prosper, you had a goal to learn the details of the AI and report them to the Order, which you've done soundly. So for that, you get 600 experience.
Can you repeat my XP amount? Did you say 395?
325.
325.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 600 for Prosper.
When they were shooting at us, I told them I was Mr. Sakarian. Did I end a conflict before it began, perhaps? We blur both sides of the sentence just a little bit.
Close, but no cigar, I'm
I'm
afraid.
gonna get a writer to make my new missions, and you're gonna hate them.
No, that's fine.
Sicarian has to make a sandwich in this episode. Well, guess what? He's making a frickin' sandwich right now.
We're doing it. Sandwich.
Cool. Good episode, everybody.
I liked it.
Cool.
Good one.
I didn't think we were gonna survive. Seriously.
Any episode that
Yeah,
ends with a
when
planet
he
on
rolled the
fire
D4 and
is
got a
good
4, I
guess.
was like, Adam, did you just kill me? And he's like, well, you make it on the ship. I'm like, ugh.
I knew when I
did
died
we-
that we were gonna live, so it's fine.
We didn't
Well-
complete a mission, so we didn't get any XP.
No, the mission you got last time. Yeah, I mean what could have happened is if you'd followed if you'd gotten worse rolls earlier, you just would have come out in warp space and he would have started bombarding the planet while you were on the outside of the ship. Which would have been it'd be an interesting view. Plus like any counterattack by the planet would have been kind of fun for you, but
Yeah.
you know,
Good times.
good times.
All right, let's do some shoutouts. We'll wrap the show. Wheat, why don't you start us off?
It's great to play Swan Song. We'll see you later this week for Mirror Shades. God, I got a super busy week, so I'll probably just see you next Mirror Shades. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. You know where to find me: twitch.tv/djWHEAT and on Twitter, twitter.com/djWHEAT. Thank you.
There you go. Geoff, do some shoutouts.
Great episode. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome audience, as always. Love Swan Song. It's so fun. Something I forgot to mention, there will be a Warhammer stream for LVO this coming weekend. So I'll tweet that.
Nice.
So make sure and follow that. And they're going to have a Twitch channel, and they built a studio in San Diego. They're going to be streaming a lot of Warhammer 40K. So
That's awesome.
going to be seeing some more of that, and they're trying to do all kinds of new content. Like, it's not the most newbie friendly thing, but they know that, and they're going to try to do the best they can to bring that to you guys. So I'm helping them as well, and with the lovely platform of Twitch and the friends and family that I have there, we can see if we can bring that to you guys really well. Other than that, I will be streaming as per usual up until Thursday when I leave early, and then I'll be gone. And we'll discuss when we do Solemn and Swan Song after this. Actually, I think Solemn's schedule is
Solemn's 25th next week, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dark
Blaine
Heresy.
Neal. And, yep, I got
You gotta win.
I got to
Gotta
win
win.
this tournament, and we'll bring it back. Follow me on Twitter, EG.iNcontroL, as always. And thanks everyone for tuning in.
Awesome stuff. Steven, do some shoutouts, sir.
Well, this was awesome. Awesome episode, Adam. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at Silent Osiris, where I talk about roleplay and video games. So if you're into those two things, you should give me a follow. And every once in a while, I post opera. So check that shit out too.
There you go. And last but not least, Adam, do some shoutouts.
Yo, thanks for coming, everybody. If you want to be a huge Swan Song dork, hop on over to my channel this weekend. I'm going to do a GM turn, which I know some of you like a lot, and I am terrible at math, so I need your help. Yeah, so things have changed in Asgard Sigma, and now it's time for the GM turn to catch up. So I'm going to be doing that, talking a little bit about the background stuff for the show. So if that's a thing that sounds like fun to you, you can come on over. The way to know when I'm going to schedule that exactly, though, is follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. So do that too. And as always, if you have questions about this episode, you want to know what kind of weird shit was going on in my head or what some of the roles may have meant, go over to JP's subreddit, so /r/itmeJP, and I'm going to start a Q&A thread post-haste.
Sure.
That's it for me.
Awesome stuff. Mirror Shades on Thursday. West March is on Saturday with Gas C Mexican, Lower Nene, and Eat My Diction. That's at 3 o'clock, I think. 3
That'll
o'clock.
be a fun one.
Yep.
Like that. 3 o'clock Eastern. Mirror Shades is on Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern, then Drop Frames on Wednesday with Total Biscuit. I think I'm going to be on Fucked Up Friday on Friday with Gassy, Renee, and Diction. I think. I don't know. It's Friday night. I don't know. Just tune in for that. I'll have more information on Twitter. I'll do the rest of my shoutouts afterwards. Thanks, everyone, for watching. The first hour is up already on youtube.com/itmeJP. We'll see you guys next week. And we'll let you know when the next show is going to be as soon as possible. We're out. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.